In our lead this hour coming from the Steel City. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. DEFCON 1 for the Pittsburgh football team. They did the unthinkable, the unimaginable. A Mike Tomlin football team went in against a rookie quarterback and got their lunch handed to them, a public humiliation situation at the hands of the Texans. Wow. Now, Tomlin had promised after that game, he said, you know what? We're going to make some changes. That's what he said. We're going to make changes. That was in the immediate aftermath of losing by 24 points to C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Well, people assumed the position, you know what happens when you assume, but they assumed the position that wholesale changes would involve offensive coordinator Matt Canada. A couple days later, Mike Tomlin singing from a bit of a different song sheet. And I don't know if you saw this or heard about it or heard what he had to say, maybe not. Mike Tomlin decided the Steelers' problem, a lack of a certain toughness, shall we say. But he began by saying that the Steelers, it's like an old car and the engine of an old car. You got to kind of warm some things up. Take a listen.
Makes us look at our practice attire the last couple of weeks due to a variety of circumstances, short weeks via Monday Night Football, short weeks because of travel adjustments, etc. We've been in helmets in preparation, and I think the start of that game, us warming up to the physicality component of it, probably had something to do, particularly at the early stages of the season in terms of development and fundamental development, practicing in helmets. I thought they had better pad level, particularly early in the football game on both sides.
No, it's all about pad level. It's very important. All right, but that led up to what we call the money soundbite as Mike Tomlin, he beat around the bush a little bit, and then he went for the jugular, talking about what's wrong with his football team. Take a listen.
Regardless of whether we win or lose or win close games or not in close games, the physicality component of it needs to be non-negotiable. That's just how we function. That's Pittsburgh Steelers football.
All right. The physicality component needs to be non-negotiable. Let's discuss. Well, what is Mike Tomlin really saying here? Let's parse the words. What is Mike Tomlin saying about the Steelers? I've got Kraft Heinz, In-N-Out Burger, and Tramps. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a terrible crying towel, which many a Steeler fan wish they had at this point. Not a terrible towel, a terrible crying towel. All right? Terrible towel, but for tears. All right. So number one. All right. Mike Tomlin is afraid to get rid of Matt Canada. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me either. I don't have any skin in the game. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Is he worried about breaking NAFTA? That's over with. Trump got rid of that. There's no North American Free Trade Agreement anymore. It's different now. So Kenny Pickett is lost at sea, and maybe he just can't play. I don't know. Maybe it's possible the guy can't play. But the Steelers, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think they have 4 touchdowns in 4 games. 4 touchdowns in 4 games. So what more needs to be said? You are what your record says you are, said a wise man years ago. And Mike Tomlin's plan, his solution here is to go with padded practices. That is a tell. As someone said many years ago, that is a dead giveaway. That is a dead giveaway. The coach is going into the confessional booth, Mike Tomlin, and he's announcing to the world that all of his players should get endorsement deals with Kraft Heinz. Cool Whip. That's what his team is. He's like, hey, listen, this team's soft. Tell me you're soft without telling me you're soft. That's how they allowed 451 yards to a rookie quarterback in C.J. Stroud. That's total offense for Houston. They were manhandled by a team that is, in the eyes of many pundits and those that claim to know more than us, a less talented team with all kinds of issues on their offensive line And yet the Pittsburgh football team got smoked, absolutely smoked. The fact that Tomlin is admitting also that his team was outworked, he also said that. It's like we've known for years. I mean, maximum effort's one of those things. You don't have to be, you don't have to have the most talent. But hustle and effort are two things that do not require you to be a 5-star talent and all of that. You just go out there and hustle, maximum effort every play. And the way I interpreted what Tomlin said, he said, not only are we a soft team, but we're not playing hard. He said that the Texans played harder. Now, maybe Tomlin was lying. I don't know, but he said it. And based on what I watched when I was flipping over to the game, and I did have the Texans. I got that one right. I was happy about that on the TV show, but I still was. That was one of those picks I made. I was like, I'll probably lose this. But I like home underdogs. And that's one of the reasons I went with that. All right, so page 2 here. Staying in Pittsburgh. This is a great story. Not going to lie. Great story. Love this story. All right. My kind of story. These things pop up a lot. This is the era we're in now. So Matt Canada is under siege by the Steeler fan base, the embattled offensive coordinator. And now we are hearing reports that he has taken to X to defend himself. Scooby-Doo, if you will. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Some internet sleuths have cracked the case. They claim they have cracked the case. They've uncovered a gold mine. This is wild. So let me give you the thumbnail recap of what they've uncovered. So there's an account under the handle of Danny Football, Danny with a Y, Danny Football 77 that randomly popped up. Hadn't sent any tweets out until Monday. It'd been around for like a year, but popped up on Monday. The only topic this account responded to was defending Matt Canada, the Steelers offensive coordinator. So you make the call. I love those. You make the call. Matt Canada's alleged X account, burner account or non-burner account? Is this just some random guy that lives in Western Pennsylvania who is defending the honor of Matt Canada? Or is this Matt Canada doing it himself? So after a minutes-long investigation, reading a series of comments by the alleged burner account, the court of MALLER has decided that this is like the classic from the Tramps, 1970s Disco Inferno, burn, baby, burn. That is the answer. It is absolutely his burner account in my humble estimation. Among the claims made by the burner account are the kind of things that would be stated by a coach if they were tired of the criticism and they felt the criticism was misguided and they were in the right. Among the comments from the burner account, we believe from Matt Canada, the burner account wrote, I'm going to read this here, the O-line is an excuse for Kenny's struggles, but the OC is expected to turn water into wine. That was one of them. Also, among my favorites, guess Canada must have possessed the quarterback to throw an interception. A better ball, and that's a game-changing play. And he responded to a video clip of Kenny Pickett throwing a really terrible pass, and that was his response. Throw a better ball, that's a game-changing play. But wait, there's more. He then, on another highlight that was sent out by a football pundit, we believe the burner account of Matt Canada responded, says there's a hole right up the middle for an easy conversion. The play was designed to clear out the middle of the field. It worked. Kenny bailed on it. It happens. But wait, there's more. He responded sarcastically, is Canada the one turning the ball over too? And wait, there's more. Here's my favorite. The burner account wrote, every offense in the NFL is, quote, predictable. It's down to the players to overcome that. Coaches know that Mahomes is going to Kelsey and the Vikings are going to Jefferson. That doesn't help stop them from getting the ball. The Steelers have a talent issue, not offensive coordinator. Ding, 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 ding. He's ripping the front office. He's ripping the players. Come on. Well, I've made my decision. you can make your decision. And that account, last I checked before the show, is still up. So if you're on X, go check out the account, Danny Football 77. I'm thinking that's a burner account for the Steelers offensive coordinator. All right, final point. We go to the Bay Area. We learned in a previous hour that Mason the Millennial is a turncoat. He's leaving the Broncos behind, one of our P1 callers, to become a 49er fan. And speaking of the Niners, that is the location, Northern California, actually Santa Clara, where the epic, not San Francisco, they play in Santa Clara, as Al Michaels likes to point out because he wants to go to all the restaurants in San Francisco, 40-some miles away from San Francisco. Anyway, so Week 5 showdown, this is the game. This is the game, Week 5. 49ers, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. Big deal. So offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer says that Dallas is going to look to Trey Lance for 49er intel. So, question, should the 49ers be concerned? Should they be worried that Trey Lance is going to spill the beans on how the Niners offense works, the inner workings of the Niner offense? So, you can't see me unless you're here, and if you're here, you're a stalker. I'm shaking my head no. Even if, I'm going to say this loud and proud for those of you in the back of the room. All right, so even if Trey Lance hand-delivered the Niners' game plan, their playbook for this weekend, doesn't matter. All right, this storyline, how many more times are we going to have to do this storyline? Didn't we do the same thing last week? The same lame-ass storyline. The Cowboys were playing the Patriots. There was panic in Texas because the Patriots, they had all the plays. Zeke Elliott and Will Greer, a couple of ex-Dallas players, were in New England, and there was high anxiety in Jerry's world. And how did that turn out? Dallas ended up handing Bill Belichick the worst defeat in his 40-year career coaching in the NFL. Listen, I'm going to explain this to you because I know. I know. The 49ers, you watch them play. They're like In-N-Out Burger. You go to In-N-Out Burger, all you get is burgers, fries, and shakes. The 49ers run a basic bitch offense. That's what they run. They're not exotic. They're not crazy. They don't do the wild stuff. What they do very well. But the teams know, right? I mean, occasionally they'll mix in like animal-style fries, like In-N-Out, right? They'll mix those in. But for the most part, it's fries, shakes, and burgers. That's what you get. And it's like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Stop us. And so far, very few people have been able to stop what the 49ers do.